Buckle up, drop-off just got smarter. This is the Carpool Dad podcast, where coffee is strong and opinions are stronger. Let's roll.
Good morning, Carpool crew. All right, guys, we're back, baby. Buckle up, because this one starts with a sentence I don't get to say very often, okay? No wife, no kids, just the boys. One car, one day, and a road trip to Boston. Now, before anyone panics, this wasn't some midlife crisis motorcycle club situation. It was one day dad-scape mission. Yeah, that's right. The kind where leave before sunrise, like you're sneaking out of prison. Not that we'll know anything about that. And the destination? PAX East Convention, which, if you've never been, is basically a nerd Disneyland. Video games everywhere, people in costumes, thousands of adults who spend their childhood indoors and decided to make a convention out of it. So naturally, my people. Now, the planning for this trip was delicate. That's the better word to use. Because leaving your wife alone with the kids for 24 hours is not a small thing. You can't just say, hey, honey, I'm going to Boston with the guys. No. You got to sell it like a business proposal. You start with, listen, it's networking, gamer culture is important, it's research. Meanwhile, in my head, I'm thinking, I just want to sit in the car with my friends and laugh like idiots for 6 hours. And somehow, she agreed. And anytime your wife agrees too quickly, you know something's coming later. That's just marriage math, which immediately made me suspicious. Anytime my wife says, yeah, go have fun, that easily, you started wondering what project she's planning while you're gone. Or when you get back. Now, the timing of this trip was also insane because it was Easter week of school. And apparently, school doesn't just celebrate Easter anymore. They turned the entire week into a Broadway production. Every day the kids come home with another announcement. Dad, tomorrow is Spring Hat Day. Dad, we need to color eggs for class. Dad, there's a bunny craft event. At one point, my kid tells me, Dad, we have a spring spirit parade. A parade for spring? When I was in school, spring meant we stopped wearing jackets. That was the event. Another thing schools do now that drives me insane, the surprise homework ambush. It will be 8:30 at night. Kids should be brushing their teeth, getting ready for bed, and suddenly one of them goes, oh yeah, I forgot. I need a poster board for tomorrow. A poster board? At 8:30 at night? Like I got a secret arts and crafts warehouse in the garage? And now I'm standing there with scissors, glue sticks, and construction paper, making something that looks like a drunk raccoon built it. But the kids is proud. So I'm proud. Even though you know that the teacher's going to look at it and immediately know that definitely helped with this. So the night before we leave for Boston, the house is already chaotic. Easter decoration everywhere, kids bouncing off the walls because they know candy season is coming. My wife is organizing stuff for the next day like it's a military operation. Meanwhile, I'm quietly packing snacks like I'm preparing for a covert mission. Phone chargers, snacks, drinks, road trip playlist because every dad road trip needs music from the late 90s and early 2000s. You know the rule. Songs that makes you feel young until your knees remind you you're not. The funny part was that we didn't even get to any playlist while the road trip was happening. The radio stayed off. That's how much we had to talk about. So the plan stays as is. We leave early, like before the sun early, like 5 a.m. That magical time where the world is quiet. The dads are the only people awake. The car ride immediately turns into absolute nonsense. Within 20 minutes, we're arguing about best video games ever made. Whenever arcades were better than online gaming. Which one of us would survive a zombie apocalypse? Spoiler alert, none of us. Because halfway through the conversation, someone says, my lower back hurts. That's when I realize that the zombie apocalypse is ending quickly for this crew. I mean, 3 dads in the car, you can only imagine what kind of conversation we had. The road trips also exposure the true eating habits of a man. We stop for breakfast, which sounds normal, but what actually means is gas station coffee, a breakfast sandwich wrapped in a mysterious paper, and some kind of donut that tastes like sugar and poor decisions. And somehow, it's the best meal you had all week. Tell me not. Because road trip food has magical powers. When you're on a boy trip, calories don't count. We finally roll into Boston and head into PAX East. And the place is packed. Thousands of gamers, cosplayers everywhere, people dressed like warriors, anime characters, robots. Meanwhile, we're just standing there like 3 tired dads wearing hoodies thinking, man, this place is loud. Inside the convention, there are gigantic screens, new game demos, tournaments happening. It's awesome. Like I said, it's nerd Disneyland. But here's the thing nobody tells you. Gaming conventions are cardio. You walk and walk and walk, and suddenly your fitness fit watch is congratulating you for like just running a marathon. All because you were looking for a bathroom. Even surrounded by all these video games. Dad's brain still kicks in. Every cool game we saw, one of us said the same thing. My kid will love this. My son will go crazy for that. My daughter will beat me at this. Because once you become a parent, you can't stop thinking about them. Even when you're supposed to be on vacation. I'm checking my phone. Now halfway through the day, I check my phone again and immediately regret it. Because I get a text from the wife, your son dumped a box of cereal on the floor. Couple minutes later, you get another message. Your daughter is trying to make Easter decoration out of tape. Another message comes through. The dog has glitter on him. Yep, glitter. On a dog. Which means that glitter is nowhere to be found and it will be everywhere forever. Because glitter doesn't leave. Glitter is like a craft herpes. Once it's in your house forever. Think about that. The ride home is very different from the ride there. Morning energy is gone. Everyone's tired. The car smells like gas station food and bad life choices. Should have brought some masks. Ugh. But we're laughing about the whole day because honestly, sometimes you need a reset button. Dads don't get many moments like that. Just friends. No responsibilities, no schedule, just a long drive and stupid conversations. I got home that night and immediately noticed two things. One, the house looks like a kindergarten tornado hit it. Two, my wife looks exhausted. She hands me a bag of Easter candy and says, Good, you're back. Hide these for tomorrow. Which means my 24-hour freedom lasted about 12 hours before I was back on Easter duty. So here's my takeaway. If you're a parent, take a trip. Even if it's just one day. Go laugh with your friends. Drive somewhere dumb. Eat terrible road trip food because parenting is chaos. School events, holidays, homework, glitter explosions. But those little breaks, they recharge you. And when you come home, you're ready for that madness again. All right, carpool crew. We hit our mark today. This has been fun. And I'm ready to cancel my therapy appointment after this. We're a couple days before Easter. We could do this. Until then, drive safe, love your kids, laugh at chaos, and remember, dad life is messy, loud, exhausting, and still the best job in the world. See you next ride.
Thanks for riding with the Carpool Dad podcast. Now park the car and find a snack before the kids do. See you next ride.